President recognizes Senator Colbeck.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Yesterday, two of our colleagues expressed concerns about the overreach of authority by non-elected government officials in our executive branch. And our state's representative from the Midland area has also expressed similar concerns regarding attempts to eliminate choice from our electricity market via the Michigan Public Service Commission. On September 18th, the Michigan Civil Rights Commission will hear arguments related to an attempt to amend the Civil Rights Act without a vote by elected officials. And everyday citizens such as pig farmers have had their livelihood taken away as a result of executive rule changes. I've also heard many of you share concerns over unresponsive agencies throughout state government. This needs to change. We need to promote accountability for unelected officials to the people that we all serve. And I believe that it's time for a constitutional amendment to help do so. We need a constitutional amendment that will empower citizens to rein in an executive branch that often exceeds legislative intent with their regulations. A properly functioning government is one that is accountable to the people and features a balance between three branches: the legislative, executive, and the judicial. We have officials in our executive branch that continue to promote regulations that go well beyond expressed legislative intent. That needs to change considering the real-world impacts these regulations have upon the people we serve. The push to rein in the powers of the executive branch has a renewed sense of urgency in light of proposals to reduce the influence of the legislative branch via a part-time legislature. Michigan is only one of 12 states that have a full-time legislature. The legislature is supposed to be the voice of the people. I am a strong and longtime supporter of part-time legislature, but I want to make sure that any power lost by the legislature goes to the people, not the executive branch. Part-time legislatures work just fine in the majority of other states, and one of the keys to the success of a part-time legislature, though, is an appreciation for limited government. Full-time legislatures are typically found in states known for big government policies, where people depend heavily upon government services. Our challenge in Michigan, after decades of big government policies, is to restore an appreciation for freedom and the empowerment of our citizens to manage their own lives. Big government policies also require lots of information about our citizens. And today we have a government that has more information on the people than the people has about the government. We need to flip that around. For starters, our citizens deserve to know how effectively our government spends your hard-earned tax dollars. We need to make sure that our citizens have practical information about how government operates, specifically about government fiscal and service performance. When I was honored to serve as chair of the State Police and Department of Military and Veterans Affairs budgets, we paid special attention to this need. And I'm happy to say that the current chair of these budgets has continued this tradition. But many other budget areas still operate in the dark regarding fiscal and service performance of agencies responsible for the expenditure of billions of taxpayer dollars every year. In response to our current issues with executive branch overreach and the need to enhance government transparency, my proposed constitutional amendment would amend Articles 4 and 5 of the Michigan Constitution. The Article 4 changes would improve regulatory oversight by the legislature. The Article 5 changes would provide improved transparency regarding executive budget priorities and agency performance, analogous to the successful oversight policies that I implemented as the former chair of the State Police and DMVA budgets. I'd like to note that our colleagues had cited the need for improved transparency on the other side of the aisle should be very supportive of this legislation, as it does enhance our transparency and our accountability to our citizens. Once approved by both chambers, the proposal would be subject to a vote of the people before any changes would be made to our Michigan Constitution, as it should be. So it's my hope that each of you will join me in the pursuit of this amendment to rein in the power of the executive branch and empower our citizens. I'd like my remarks added to the Journal, please.
Senator Colbeck requests that his remarks be printed in the Journal. Without objection, so ordered.